Hello everybody, welcome back. Sorry for the slight delay there, but we are going to get into it. Oh my gosh, and now the cat has started up as soon as I sat down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. What are you doing? Okay, He did not heed my commands, and now he's here. Hi. Can you go lay down after I'm done holding you? No? Okay. I guess cats are just gonna... Oh, there he goes. Anyway. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I need to do 2 more enemy cards to get to 50 enemy cards, so we're going to be doing that in this stream. That probably won't actually take the whole stream, so we'll see what we'll do after that, but I also have... I've made some bounds changes, which were detailed in the Discord, but I can go over those if anyone wants to hear about that. Anyway, before we get into it, I want to remind everyone that Alka Mortis is available for wishlisting. I am still going to try to get Alka Mortis, the next Alka Mortis playtest, launched for Patreon members this week. I believe Halloween is... When is Halloween? Halloween is on Friday, so yeah. The goal is to have the playtest launched for Patreon members on Friday, so I'm still trying to work towards that. We'll see how it goes, but I think it'll be doable. So go ahead and wishlist that on Steam, and it will be available for public playtest the week after Halloween. So you can wishlist that, follow the socials to know when you can play it. You can also support the game by subscribing on Patreon. This top Patreon tier here will reward you with an Alka Mortis Steam key when the game launches, as well as in-game Alka Mortis credits. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale, which will teach you how to build games in the Godot engine. So all those things are linked below. I appreciate the support. And let's stop doing ads and actually get into the game now. All right. Hello, Meep. Welcome back. Early stream. Hello, Edo Makes Games. Welcome, welcome. Liu, welcome. Sam Studio, welcome back. Always good to see. Always good to see everyone. Hello, Snup Bill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Always generous. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back. And we have Yummers here. We have Yummers. Podell, hello. Do you have any interest in fire bells? I don't. Is that a flower or is that just made up? I don't know. Hello, V. Welcome back. Neozoid, good to see you. Ninja Link, good morning. Good morning. Emerson, good morning to you. The card making machine. Legend has it that there will be 100 enemy and player cards before the playtest. That is definitely a legend, yeah. Cat was expunging some stored annoyance just for this occasion. Seriously. It's like an annoyance capacitor. Back to grinding again, yes. Any plan maybe sharing keys with roguelike YouTubers? I don't want to do that just yet. I will do that when the game is like ready for launch, but I don't want to sort of like get featured on the larger channels just yet because the game is still very much in development. I would rather have like a more final version of the game like ready to go. Ideally, I would send out the keys and then like 4 weeks later or 3 weeks later, I would release the game for everyone to buy. So if I get a huge wish list spike, you know, I can capitalize on that. Enemy card that disables your cards for some time. Yeah, I already have that, but welcome to the stream. I hit 60 subs yesterday. It's a really big motivation. Awesome. Congratulations, Edo Makes Games. Can we get some claps in the chat for Edo? Building up that YouTube channel. All right. Let's see. So I can show you the cards that I made. What did I make? Azir, can you stop, buddy? Can you please stop? Oh, goodness. So what did I make? I don't remember. Thank you, everyone, for the claps for Edo. Okay, so Bishop... Oh, you guys saw the potato and the flail, so the only new ones are the Bishop and the Pitchfork. So let's go ahead and show you those. What are you doing, cat? Can you go lay down? Oh my gosh. Hi. Hi. Any day now. Okay, here we go. So here's a bishop. This bishop applies 1 holy per enemy ritual card and heals for 5. So this is basically an anti-ritual card. So if you get like build up a ritual board, the bishop is going to counter that. And then I also have a pitchfork here, which deals 7 true damage and applies 2 bleed. So true damage being damage that bypasses preserve. So this is like an anti-shield kind of weapon. What else did I do? I changed the mausoleum key. So if you didn't read my little Discord update in the Firebelly Discord server, which you can join below. I've discovered, or not really discovered, but come to understand that any card that has a multiplier is just really hard to balance because it just gets out of control very easily. So I'm kind of removing multipliers. So previously this Mausoleum Key, it used to apply preserve equal to a quarter of the damage you took since the last execution by default at tier 1, but then it would double it if there was an adjacent minion. So it would, at level 1, it would apply preserve equal to half the amount of damage that you took since the last execution. But by upgrading the Mausoleum Key, you could get that multiplier up to like 1.5 or 1.75, and then it was just like, you take a bunch of damage and then you just apply like 300 shield. Now, while that's kind of fun in a way, what that did is that trivialized a bunch of encounters. And it also made it so that way, like, you just needed one Mausoleum Key, and it would just basically cover your shielding needs entirely. So I think that's just generally going to be a problem with multipliers on cards. So I'm moving away from multipliers and instead opting for flat bonuses in basically all cases. And I also nerfed the Snail Cat similarly. So now what the Mausoleum Key does is it applies 2 preserve. It will add an additional preserve if there's an adjacent minion, and this is for each time damage was taken. So if you get hit 4 times, it's not going to look at the damage that those hits did. It's just going to say you got hit 4 times. So if there's an adjacent minion, that will be 3 preserve per hit. So you apply 12, right? So that is how the Mausoleum Key works now. So now instead of this becoming just a way of negating huge amounts of damage, this is more of a way of negating damage based on how many times you're taking damage, right? And if you stack Mausoleum Keys, you're still going to be able to get very powerful shielding out of that, right? At least that's the idea, anyway. And then a similar thing for the Snail Cat. The Snail Cat used to do a multiplier as well, but now it just does flat increase. Hi, buddy. So if I look at the Snail Cat here, the Snail Cat will exhaust all alchemical cards, but then it will increase the enemy's current status stacks by 1 for each card that was exhausted. So if you exhaust 4 alchemical cards, then what this will do is this will increase the enemy's fire stacks by 4, it will increase the bleed stacks by 4, it will increase the... I actually don't know if that's going to work for bleed, actually. Let me look at the Snail Cat. This might actually be wrong. Status set stacks. Oh, I probably don't want to do that. I just realized that that's probably not what I want to do. I don't want to use set stacks. I just realized this is a bug. This needs to be apply stacks. Anyway. So yeah, instead of this being a multiplier now, this is just going to increase it by 1. So that's still going to be a way of just increasing your status stacks, but it's not going to be a multiplier. I don't remember what the multiplier was previously, but... Is there a potato card now? There is, yeah. It took me a sec to realize the bishop is cropped and not just incredibly short. Yeah. Yeah, that's the potato there. Good morning, Monkey Software. It's hard to focus on game dev while we have like 7 exams and tests in school, so I didn't work on the game for like a week, but it's also easier just to make games as a kid because parents are paying for everything. Yeah, I mean, just use ChatGPT to do your homework and then you have more time for game dev. I'm kidding, don't follow that advice. Is there a reflect effect? Like reflecting abilities? No, there is not. I can add that though. I'm considering adding that actually at some point. I can't imagine making games and thinking about this game makes some money so I can buy bread next month. Right, yeah. That's why people generally advise against quitting your job to make your dream game, yeah. Yeah, I mean, even me, like, number one, I didn't quit my job to make game dev. I lost my job because we ran out of funding. And also, I have some sources of income. So it's not like, games are not my entire source of income. So I think that's, yeah. It would be very, very stressful if you were trying to pay the bills by just selling games. That would be unbelievably stressful. Okay. So we got to make 2 more enemy cards here. Let's bring this over here. Let's figure out what we want to do. Sword in the Stone. Paladin, Foot Soldier, Enchanted Suit of Armor. Village Idiot. Let's take a look at the card statistics tool. What are we lacking? We're still lacking some relics here. We have plenty of weapons, we have plenty of minions, we have plenty of rituals. We need relics and alchemical. Maybe I should have planned this out better. Your day job is like your parents paying for everything, yeah. He lost his job to make game dev, that's even more dedication. Hoping this makes 6-figure a month. Oh, yeah, you and me both. Probably not gonna happen. Most likely not gonna happen, but we'll see. Imagine if Village Idiot evolves into a super soldier after a hidden condition is met, yeah. Oh, I really don't know what to do. I mean, we don't need more minions. I need relics and alchemical. So obviously like a food or herb is a good idea for alchemical. Is there other kind of alchemical stuff I could do? Let me think. Could do some like wine or something maybe. That could be like a alchemical thing. That might work. Maybe we'll do some wine. Why not? Oh, I did all this stuff. Move this over. Okay. Let's do some wine. We can make this a 1x1. I don't think we have many 1x1 cards for the enemies. We have 10 1x1 cards. Well, maybe that is quite a lot, actually. How many 1x1 cards do we have for the player? 12? Well, let's just do it. It doesn't matter. I'm not really interested in making sure there's an even number of all sizes of cards. I actually think there probably should be more 1x1 cards. I lost my job to watching my daughter. Pretty good trade-off. That is a good trade-off. Bone paste. That would be good for the player. Not necessarily for the enemy faction. Wine, sir, it's 10 o'clock, yeah. Vial of Serpent Venom. That's a good one. I actually do already have that. It's an artifact, though. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Something like that. Move this up. Maybe we can make this work. Oops. Maybe we can make it work. Maybe we can make it work. I think that's okay. That's probably all right. That's probably all right. Okay, wine, boom. What are we gonna make the wine do? I'm thinking that it could, let me think, what could it do? Apply some kind of mischance debuff to allied cards. Yeah, I think I know what I want to do with this. I want to do var projected damage is equal to ability builder dot projectability. Maybe do new, no. Ability builder dot damage, maybe 2. And then we want to do configure query options. Query options dot tag filter is equal to board inventory component. Oh no, card tag dot minion. We'll make this, actually, we'll make this more interesting. Let's do query directions is equal to board inventory component dot query directions dot up. Query options dot query, no, this is right, okay. I think that's gonna be okay. So we're gonna add the projected damage. And then we need a mischance. Buff applicator. Do I want to do this? I need to streamline a lot of this stuff, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. Query target provider is equal to new query target provider. Query target provider dot query options. Tag filter is equal to card tag dot minion. Actually, I probably want to make this one ability now that I think about it. I probably want to do that, actually. New buff applicator. Query target provider. New mist debuff. Is that not right? Mischance. Debuff. Duration 1. Float a mischance. Let's do 20%, that's fine. So now we do projected damage and buff applicator. Okay. There we go. So we need to manage the scaling of this as well. I think that will work. Let's see. Bone paste applied directly to the forehead. Oh no. Oh no. If inventory management is supposed to be a challenge, all I'll say is having a lot of 1x1 makes inventory very easily managed. Yes, but the trade-off is that 1x1 cards are not necessarily going to be that powerful unless you alchemize them. But I think that's also going to be fixed if I also add negative traits to alchemy as well. So the more 1x1 cards you have, yeah, the more opportunities you have for powerful stuff, but the more opportunities you have for negative stuff as well. So what I want to do is with the alchemy system is make it so that sometimes large cards may actually be more appealing than smaller cards because they will have fewer negatives on them, like totally, right? So I think that for now, maybe the way the alchemy is that, yeah, it's going to be generally beneficial to just collapse everything down to a 1x1 card. But I think adding negatives to the alchemy system is going to fix that, hopefully. Star pattern effects. Yeah, I mean, I think, I understand. I think that, yeah, I think managing the inventory may be easier right now with a lot of 1x1 cards, but I'm aware of that and I want to make that not the case. Like, I definitely want it to be appealing to have larger cards or irregularly shaped cards in some cases. Chalice is looking nice, thank you. It's an enemy card, the player will not use it. Right, yeah. What do you think of games that use generative AI but claims the content represents the creativity of our team entirely, despite having zero validity? Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the thing about generative AI is that it's not very good right now, and so it always looks low effort when people use it. But at the same time, I don't think generative AI is going away, particularly in creative endeavors. So I think we're just kind of like in a weird moment right now where no one knows how to use generative AI, or it's not good enough, and there's a bunch of like gray areas around the ethics of it. And once all that stuff gets ironed out, my opinion is that generative AI is going to become a part of every creative workflow, whether you're talking about movies or TV shows or YouTube videos or video games. So I don't think it's that useful right now, though, and I don't think it makes anything super compelling right now. Sprite looks like the one artifact you have. It kind of does, yeah. I might have to change it. I like how my dream game changes every time I play something. I have like 30 dream games at this point, yeah. Wine builds a stack every time it triggers. Every trigger adds poison incrementally up to 3 poison per trigger. Interesting. I think, yeah, the enemies don't do poison, so this is an enemy card, so this is not going to do poison, but I do have stuff that does poison like that, Podell. Hello, Liu. Good morning to you. Collapse. Okay, so now we need to do the description. Blind minion cards above this card by 20% and project I hope that works. I don't know. By the way, if enemy has 5 wines on the board, how much is the mischance? Well, they would all have to be aligned because they're only going up. But yeah, the mischance would... I think the mischance calculates individually for each mischance. I should say allied. Well, it doesn't matter. And project. I'm gonna have to work on these descriptions. But is that actually working? Oops, wrong one. Yeah, that description is not working. Exclude prefix. Maybe I'll just do true here. Some of these descriptions are going to be really hard to write. The mischance is applied to the card. So what mischance does is a debuff on a card that will give the card a chance to miss with all abilities. So it's basically as if it's just not executing. And if you've got like 2 20% mischances on the board, that doesn't mean or on a card, that doesn't mean the mischance is 40%, it's 20% twice. So we'll do a 20% roll once and then a 20% roll again. I may change that, but for now, that's the way it works. Ability projector. This is so gnarly. var maybe that'll work. Since we have Spiderling, do we have Cobwebs, Giant Spiders? Not yet. I want to do like a Spider Queen card for sure. Cobwebs would be interesting too. Maybe I can just simplify this. Blind minion cards above by 20%, projects to minion cards above, deal 2 damage. Okay, that should work. That should work. Let's see. Board configuration editor. Have you created all 3 boss fight cards? I have, yeah. I have indeed. Let's see if we get some chalices now in here. Oh, I forgot to change. Whoops. wine is called. Yeah, what does my chalice of blood look like? It looks very similar, I guess. That's all right. I'll fix it. Maybe, actually, you know what a good way of fixing this is? I'm going to just change the colors here. Unfortunately, I don't have that many colors. Actually, let's do this. Change this to that. Change this to that. Oh, that kind of blends in. Maybe we could change the color of this now. I don't know. The wine is now blue. That'll at least differentiate it more. Maybe we'll just do that for now. Anyway. Okay, wine, let's see. 11 is enemy is flippable, tags. Let's do alchemical and ritual. Maximum, minimum notoriety region, maximum notoriety region, okay. There we go. That works. Okay, and then I want to see what it looks like on the board configuration editor here. Are there items that can be used mid-fight, or is it against the point of the game loop? Yeah, there's no items that can be used mid-fight. Basically, the entire game loop is like, you set up your board to be maximally strategized, and then you watch the fights play out. That wine is useless. Now that I have more cards in the game, I might have to tweak my wave function collapse a little bit. I know I said it. I said the thing. That's also not working. That is also not working. So far, we haven't found a single wine that actually benefits anything. That one also doesn't do anything. That one also doesn't do anything. Why is that happening so much? That one works. That one also doesn't do anything. Yeah, probably gonna need to do some stuff here. That one works. Now the question is it being used in other synergies though? Not really. Not really. Okay, interesting. All right, probably gonna have to look at that wave function collapse a little bit more. I feel like you could make a side POV wine glass, basically instead of a chalice. Yeah, I could do that. Wave function collapse. Yeah. Hello, Rookie Tookie, welcome. How does wave function collapse work in summary? The quick 30-second version is that imagine you have a grid and you have all of the possible cards that you want to place in each cell in the grid. What you do is you find the cell with the lowest number of possibilities, and then you choose a random card from that and you place it. And then once you place that card, if that card can affect other cells, you target the other cells that that card can affect, and you reduce the amount of options available for cards to place at those cells to only those ones that would synergize with the card that you just placed. And then you just repeat that loop over and over. So you select the cell with the fewest possibilities, you choose a random card, that card will affect other cells, you filter out the possibilities of those other cells in accordance with the card that you just placed, and then you do it all again. You select the lowest cell, so on and so forth. Then you keep repeating until your board is full, until all of the cells have been resolved. That's the general idea. Obviously, it's a little bit more complicated when you have to introduce like your own game rules into it and whatnot, but that's the gist of it. Working on my new game, and oh boy, making a good wall run mechanism is hard. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. All right, well, we'll just call the wine good for now. Is it possible to make at least all cards have one synergy in the collapse? Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that, though, because let's say that I have a card that synergizes with ritual items, and so I choose the wine as a ritual item, right? So the wine will synergize with the card that synergizes with ritual, but since the wine has its own synergy, like it targets minions, it may be placed in a way to satisfy one synergy where it's not satisfying another one, right? So that's the trick there. And I don't know if it's possible to make sure that every card that... So, and then there are cards that don't have synergies, right? There are cards that just do raw damage that may synergize with something else, right? So, like, for example, my blacksmith tools will synergize with adjacent weapons, but weapons by themselves typically don't synergize with anything. They just do raw damage. So a weapon could be placed by itself and not synergize with anything, or it could synergize with something else. So it's not even the case that I necessarily want to guarantee a synergy, because I could have a bunch of weapons on the board and none of them synergize with anything, they just do a bunch of damage, right? So I don't know how to make it so that everything that can synergize has at least one synergy without exploding the complexity of the wave function collapse and getting into a situation where I may need to construct multiple boards and discard the least fit one, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to just, with straight up rules, just try to generally create a board that has synergies while also being tolerant of the fact that sometimes a card is going to be placed on the board that basically just doesn't do anything, right? Because again, we have to consider too that the player cards may synergize off of things, right? So I may have a wine on the enemy board that doesn't do anything, but because it's a ritual and alchemical card, the player may have cards on their board that scale off of the number of ritual or alchemical cards, right? So I think it's a lot more complex than just saying, you know, guarantee the synergy. I actually have found a creative, I have actually found creative down the back of my sofa somehow. What? Found creative? Oh, I see what you mean. I think you mean sitting on the couch, you found some creative motivation. Back working on the big update for Necrofishing Reap and Real Game. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, what's the next one? We're one card away from having 50 enemy cards. We are one card away from 50 enemy cards. We still need more relics. Let's see if we can come up with something that's a relic. Sometimes I question my own English when I'm Scottish. Okay. We need a relic. Well, let's see. What card sizes could we use? We don't have many 2x1 cards. We don't have many 3x2, 2x3. 2x2 minus 1, 0. So with the top right missing. So I'm thinking we could either do a 2x1 card or one of these weird L-shaped cards. Baptism Cross. Scotland is number 1 of my places of visit. Places I want to visit. What should we do for a relic? That's a 2x1. Well, let's do this. I actually don't know if this is going to be useful. So far, that's not useful. Oh no, I don't know if I want to show this on stream. Oh, I definitely don't want to show that on stream. I'm looking at a list of the most famous Catholic relics. Oh, wow. This one is kind of cool. I don't think I'm going to be able to recreate this, but that's kind of cool. Inspiration come to me. Well, can you share a bit of introduction to your game, like lore or something? Well, the lore is still something I'm looking at, but if you want to get a little bit more on the game, you can look at the Steam page, which is linked below. The lore is something that I'm still thinking about. Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. I think the kind of basic overall approach I'm going to take to the lore is that there are these like cycles of where, you know, necromancy becomes popular in the kingdom or whatever. And there's the rise of the occult, which you are one of the, you know, members of. And that, you know, every couple hundred years or whatever, this becomes a major problem, and then it needs to be put down by the human faction. That's kind of like the loose, I think, background that I want to work with. But again, I haven't given it too much thought. Catholic relics are so 40k. Some might even say 40k is so Catholic relics. Bring waterproofs in a woolly jacket. Shiny canned foot, nice. Torn Crusade banner. I already have a banner. That's a good one though. Is that a gilded smelling hatch? I don't think so. Draw a holy Big Mac. All right. What can I do? I want to make it a 2x1, so it's going to be 2 cells wide and 1 cell tall. I just don't know. I just don't know. I almost kind of want to do, oh, interesting. I kind of want to do like a, I almost kind of want to do like a tree branch. And we can give it some kind of like relic significance. That might be cool though. Let me just draw it and then we'll like backfill some story into it. We will backfill some story into it. Okay. Oops, that's not right. Something like that. That'll probably work. I think there's actually too much here. Move this one down. That'll probably work. Why not? What about a can of Earn Brew? I don't know what that is. Old can of magic that causes root or something. Tree branch with golden toenails. All right. Torn scripture. You know where you can find a really good stick? This is the best one. Bindings of Rope, Failed Exorcism. Look at Elden Ring Talismans, maybe you can get some inspiration there. That's true, yeah. Did not let me send any chat messages, had to resub to the channel. Oh yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, welcome. How did you end up on this color palette? I just was scrolling low spec and I found this and I was like, oh, I'll use this. So I didn't make the color palette myself. That is far beyond my capabilities. No, maybe not far beyond, but certainly not a skill that is readily available to me just yet. All right, let's do some highlighting now. Okay, that'll probably work. That'll probably work. Okay, now we can do some shading on the leaves, maybe. That'll probably be all right. And then we can just plop some of these on here. Maybe I'll make that one darker. Yeah, that's probably all right. That's probably all right. Okay, we have a tree branch. Okay, now we got to figure out what they actually call it. Hallowed Gravestone. The palettes from a site called Lowspec, yeah. Iron Brew is a Scottish fizzy drink. Oh, interesting, okay. I got you. Tree branch, what are we going to call this? Branch of life. Okay. Dimensions 2x1. 12 is enemy, is flippable. Relic. Ritual. Yeah, I think that's fine for the notoriety region. All right, now we need an ability for this. What should it do? Maybe we could just do heal 1 for each time damage was taken. Bar value scalar is equal to new value scalar. Damage taken provider. Value scalar dot set multiplier 1. Cons float base multiplier. Base multiplier. Var dynamic heal is equal to new dynamic magnitude ability value scalar. We're going to add the damage taken count provider here. Then we're going to add the dynamic heal. Tier var scalar is equal to ability scalars.make float additive scalar 1. Value scalar dot set multiplier scalar base multiplier tier. Heal value scalar dot get multiplier for each time damage was taken since last execution. Okay. Yep, I'm stuck. My rooms have more doors on any one side than just north, south, east, west. Oh, for your wave function collapse. Sacred tree branch. Fitting that into WC is going to take an extreme going to be an extreme challenge. Yeah, I guess without more details about how the system works, I don't know if I can offer any tips. Increases necrotic resistance. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with necrotic. I think necrotic is just going to serve as just like the combat ending mechanic. Okay, let's see if this works. Ah, well, I guess we'll be able to see if it works from here. 1, 2. Oh, that worked. Okay. That works. Very cool, very cool. And we are now at 50 enemy cards. Oops. Let's see. We have 50 enemy cards and 53 player cards for a total of 103 cards in the game. Very nice. How long now are you developing this game? Since March. So however long that is, 6 months? The only thing I saw was a technique someone described as meta tiles, which I assume means when the WC would place one tile, it actually places the linked tiles too. Yeah, I mean, I think, well, the way that I do it, I kind of have like, you know, I've got oddly shaped cards. I've got cards that occupy more than one grid cell. So I wonder if, yeah, if you could like subdivide your larger rooms such that each tile in that larger room either has a door or not. And then you could, when you place that room, you occupy multiple cells on your grid, but then you can control like the tiles that are adjacent to the sub tiles that have doors. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's possible, but that's almost the approach that I would take. Is like have your larger rooms occupy multiple tiles. And then, yeah, maybe that would work. I was playing Titanfall today and inspired to start making the game. What no Titanfall 3 does to a man, yeah. That's what you were thinking? Okay. Yeah, I think that would work. Okay, well, we're done with all the cards I wanted to add. Now what? Now what? I mean, there's some other changes that I need to make, so... I want to make a UI change. Probably should do that. Okay, probably should do that. Oh yeah, I have a lot of stuff to do. I also kind of want to, yeah, I kind of want to do, I wanted to make a devlog too for the next playtest. I have a lot of stuff to do this week, goodness. Goodness gracious. Anyway, let's do this. So right now there's a problem. Hello, Exorus, welcome. It's going well, how are you doing? So I've got these buttons here, which one is the inventory button, one is the alchemy button. Obviously I need to change this icon here, but I also want to kind of make this tab longer and then make this like a sub tab, because when you click the alchemy button, it brings up both the inventory and the alchemy. So I want to make that clearer by nesting them and changing the icon, of course. So we're going to probably, let's do that. How am I going to do that? Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm all right. Been banging my head against C++ for a few hours now. Just chilling. Yeah. Oh, the life of a programmer, right? Okay. Anyway, it's looking good. So I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we're going to start working on that. We'll start with the icon. We'll get a new icon in place for the alchemy, and then, yeah, I'm going to try to make some more visual improvements to that as well. So we will do that in just a second when I get back. So BRB in 3 minutes, and we'll continue on. All right, I'm back. Let's figure out how to do this UI stuff. So we've got this toggle button here. Toggle button. Okay. So I just need to change this icon. Where's this coming from? UI drawer button icon. Open file, assets, UI, drawer. So we've got that. I want to find where my old alchemy symbol is. Maybe, can I use that? Oh, this is probably going to be too big. Icon alchemy. Yeah, that's too big. So I'm going to need to redraw this, unfortunately. Let's just see if I can... see if I can do this. Okay, so we've got the alchemy icon. Nope. Okay, that might work. Is that too small? I don't think so. Well, I can always extend it just a little bit. Okay, that should work. Then we can take this. Okay, that'll probably work. Move this over a little bit. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this going here. Is that going to work? Yeah, that looks better. Cool. Very cool, very cool, very cool. I don't know if I want to do any dithering here, but... that probably works. There we go. Alchemy icon. Now we can get rid of all this ugly nonsense. Where is this coming from? There we go. Should probably lock these. Okay, so there's my alchemy icon. We can get rid of this. Okay, there is the alchemy icon. And then what do we want to do? Is that too far? It might be too tall. No, it's probably okay. It's probably okay. All right, let's just go ahead and alchemy icon. So now I can go in here and I can change this. Why don't I do that fancy here? Quick load, alchemy icon. That's the wrong one. Yeah, that looks good. Good night. It's time for me to take a slumber. See you again tomorrow. Good luck on your games. Thank you, Leo Fix. Appreciate it and hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Okay, the alchemy icon is in place now, so we're good. Alrighty. So let's just commit that. Now the question is, how do I make this? I want to change. I want to have like an activated state as well for this button. I actually don't know if I even like this button anymore. I may just redo the button the way that the button is. Duplicate this, move this down. I'm gonna make some changes to this button actually. We are gonna make it thicker here. Yeah, we'll do something like this, I suppose. What did I just do? May actually move this over. Yeah, I think that looks better. Maybe? Maybe not actually. Yeah, we'll just do that. That's fine. Okay. Still don't know. Egads. It's not what we want. Maybe that'll work, I don't know. I'm really loving this pixel art and color palette. Thank you, Sharky Malone. Appreciate it. Hello, Polaris. Thank you. And I hope you have a good day as well. The map looks huge when you scrolled up before your little break. Yeah, there's like 300 nodes on the map or something. Of course, probably the vast majority of them are not going to be navigable before the run ends. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of options for the player. But yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see what you guys think of it in the playtest. Just going to be grinding this week, trying to get the playtest out. Try that. We're going to change the base colors now. Oh, this might not be what I want though. This might be button new active highlight. We're going to step all these down by one. Oh, that's not going to look good. I am in a bit of a pickle. Maybe that'll work, I don't know. We will see. Okay. Now, I did not solve the problem of I want some buttons to be longer. I wonder what the easiest way of doing that is. Well, let's worry about that in a second. Button, okay. Export that. Highlight. Ah, shoot. Button highlight. Button new active. I'm gonna call this pressed actually. I think, yeah, this is gonna be a little bit tricky to implement, but that's all right. We will figure it out. I've been on the stream since the beginning, but have been forced to mute on and off. Maybe listen for a total of 20 minutes. Darn your work, or darn you work requiring my attention. That's all right. We have lots of lurkers. We love our lurkers. This VBox container here. What is controlling this separation? Oh, it's that. Okay. Okay. Toggle button. $15. I'm gonna need to change the button texture as well. Anyway. Probably should make a separate scene for each of these toggle buttons. That'll be all right though. Let's see. What was the one item from earlier that looked like an ice cream sundae? Was only half paying attention. Maybe you're referring to the wine, maybe? Sitting in the lurker chair watching the action. Okay, all right, high law. So I'm somewhat of a lurker myself, yeah. Did I not export those? No, I did it right. Okay. Oh, maybe I didn't do it right. Oh, button width. Yeah, I didn't do it right. Let's see. What is the button width? 30. Thank goodness I moved that into a constant. Look, for around 50% of these streams just feel like listening, or just like listening to programming talk while I program for work. Yeah. Yeah, I find that enjoyable to do sometimes as well. Okay, there we go. This is going to be a mess. I'm going to have to redo a large chunk of this, I think. So the idea is this one's going to be a little bit longer than this one. Like a real tab. So this is like the inventory tab. This will be a sub tab of the inventory. And then these will be lit up based on if they're active or not. And hopefully that will help. Yeah, they expect me to do my job, so toxic, yeah. Just trying to think of what I want to do here. I might have to redo a large chunk of this. Let me think. Why do I have the button width like this to begin with? Oh, because the whole drawer is sliding out. I see. I see. Shoot, what am I going to do here? Why are these in their own pass-through controls? I don't know why that is. Does that need to be the case? Oh yeah, it does need to be the case. Okay. I don't think it needs to be the case for this alchemy button though. So we can get rid of that. Yeah. Alright, probably should make these separate scenes, I suppose. Drawer toggle button. Alright, we're going to want to add a script to this for sure. Scripts. Game.ui, drawer toggle button. Cool. So what are we going to want in here? Okay. Oops. So we want to change the icon. Let's call this icon, I guess. Okay, we're going to want an export private texture 2D icon texture. Public override void ready. Icon.texture is equal to icon texture. Okay, so now we're going to want to do this. We're going to want... How do I want to do this? Export private texture 2D. Let's do normal texture. Export private texture 2D. Normal hover texture. Export private texture 2D. Active texture. Export private texture 2D. Active hover texture. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take the toggle button here. So this toggle button, we have textures in here. Normal pressed, hover disabled. Okay. So normal texture normal is equal to normal texture. Texture disabled is equal to normal texture. Texture hover, normal hover texture. Texture pressed is equal to normal hover texture. Set active, bool is active. Okay. Void set active in here to false. All right. Maybe that will work for now. Let's just go ahead and build. Tried to catch the stream just Saturday to do some game dev myself. Ended up having the worst migraine of my life. Oh, that sucks, yeah. Streams are usually toward the end of my shift. Migraines rock. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm on my lunch break now. I hope you're eating something very delicious. Currently fighting with my charger wires to untangle them in time to save my laptop from dying. I'm drawing more goblin tummies myself. Finally got some free time. Nice. It's night here, so no work for me. Hello, Jackie Daytona. It's time for game dev once again. It is indeed. Okay, so the normal texture. So we're going to do button. Just button, I guess. That. Button hover. Button pressed. Okay. These textures, I guess I'll just keep those in there, that's fine. Okay, so we've got those textures in place. Oh, I loaded the wrong ones. Oh no, I didn't. Their previews are just not updated. Okay. So now we're going to call this drawer toggle button. Let's create a new drawer toggle button in here. Nope. Drawer toggle button. The icon is going to be bag. Button icon. We're going to do inventory toggle button. Make that a unique name. Rename that. All right, and then we'll do the same for the alchemy. Goodbye. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the combat log. Delete, goodbye. Okay, so hopefully that all works and I didn't break anything. I'm just noticing that your Godot and Sprite workspace layouts are nearly the same dimensions. I'm stealing that idea. Oh yeah. Feel free to steal anything except my game. Don't steal that. Okay, so that's working. Now we have to set the active states of those things and see how that looks. Except this is called combat log toggle button. So we'll fix that up right quick. Okay. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that. Don't need to be redundant. Okay, so combat log.toggle. This is relatively easy, so we're going to say combat log button dot set active. Did I not make that public? Oh, I forgot to, yeah. All these toggle buttons here. These need to be drawer toggle button. So now here, set active, combat log.toggle. Okay, inventory, where's the inventory button? Inventory toggle button dot set active is drawer expanded. I should probably do this not here. Okay, and then for the alchemy, I think I can just do this. Alchemy toggle button dot set active. Alchemy drawer is expanded. But I need to do the same thing here. This is a mess. Anyway, let's see what that does. Let's see what that does. I don't even know if I'm going to like the blue or not, but there we go. It could be better. Hold on a second. I just need to add some more depth into this, I think. Yeah, I don't really know if I like this. Might have to come up with a different thing, but that's all right. It will be figured out eventually. Plain blue just felt out of place. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I suppose I don't have to use blue. I could use other colors. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I wonder if I could just beef up. Yeah, I might be able to just... Here, let's do this. Let's change this. That can stay. This becomes orange. This becomes red. And then in here, maybe we'll keep this purple. Okay, button new pressed, then button new pressed highlight. Let's copy this. Paste it here. Okay, and then in here, what we'll do is we'll do... I think I did this in the wrong order. That's okay. UI is not my strong suit. That's okay though. We will figure it out. I've switched to RPG Maker. Yeah, whatever works. Whatever gets you to build your game the most efficient way. Challenges of working with a limited palette, am I right? Yeah, you're right. I think that probably works a little bit better. I should probably change the icon color as well. Well, at least that's closer to the color palette. I don't know. I don't know. I'll play around with it some more. That looks better. Yeah, I agree. It still looks a little bit odd, but I'm gonna, you know, I gotta balance what's necessary for the playtest and what needs to be perfect. So I think the next thing is to extend this length of this one here. Because again, this is like a sub tab, because when you click this one, it opens the inventory at the same time. So you can only have the alchemy open when your inventory is open, or when you go into an event like this, then you can open up the alchemy here. If having to design figurine boxes doesn't make you hate graphic design UI, then I don't know what will. Cries, yeah. Okay, let's do F9. I just want to see what happens if I do this and I open this up. Yeah, so all that's working good still. Okay, cool. Oi. So yeah, I gotta design a larger tab that just sticks out a little bit more for visual purposes. I wonder if I could shrink this one down too. That may be a way to do it. Let me think. That might be a way to do it. Yeah, I may do that. So I gotta create variations of this again. And I'm not on the right layer. Yeah, maybe I'll just shrink that down. That might just look better already, because then there's less solid color here. Okay, let's do it all again. Once again, I'm on the wrong one. Oops. There we go. Yep. Okay, let's see how that goes. Time to export all of these again. Actually, I'm going to just do this easier. We're going to get rid of this old button here. Delete. I said delete. Why can't I delete the layer? Is it because it's locked? Oh no. This is just called button. This is called button. Did I call it active or pressed? Should keep my names consistent. Button pressed. Button pressed. Okay. We're going to do this the easy way. Okay. File, scripts, export layers. Boom. Yeah, the best part, he's doing it all again, yeah. Seriously. While that's exporting, this needs to change to 28 now, I believe. Okay. I think those are all updated now. The icons are now off center. That's all right. I can go in here. This drawer toggle button here. Just change this icon. There we go. Okay, I think that looks better. And now I can just make this top one a little bit longer. Maybe 4 pixels or 6 pixels longer, something like that. And that should be doable. Okay. You named it press, but the Godot description is active. No, it's not. The Godot description is actually pressed as well. See? I called it active here in my custom export variables, but it's pressed in the texture array for the Godot API. But yeah, I flubbed the naming on these ones, but it's all right. Actually, active does mean something different here because active is when the drawer is active, not when the button is pressed. So actually, I'm going to defend my naming and say that active is correct. I'm a genius. I'm irrefutably correct all the time. Okay, I got to get to a meeting in 15 minutes, so I'm going to end the stream there, but thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. In that case, I did not say anything. It's okay. Let's see. So work on... But yeah, I got to go get to that meeting. Stand on your naming conventions, yeah. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Always fun hanging out with you guys and having you help me out with whatever I happen to be working on. Again, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. I'm going to be trying really hard to get the new playtest out for the end of the week for Patreon members. So I'll keep you updated on whether the playtest will be coming this week or not, but I got a lot of work to do still, but I think it's doable. I just gotta, like, heads down work on it, you know what I'm saying? But again, the playtest is going to be exclusive for Patreon members for the first week. So you can join at the $5 tier to get access to the playtest when the playtest launches. Or you can also consider joining as a sponsor where it's kind of like a pre-order. Not only will you get access to the playtests, but I'm also going to send you a Steam key for Alchemortis when the game launches. So it's almost like a pre-purchase bonus. You'll also have your name listed in the in-game Alchemortis credits. So if you want to support financially, that would be much appreciated. But again, there will be a public playtest of Alchemortis after the Patreon early access playtest period. So we're going to do 1 week of Patreon early access playtest and then 1 week of open to the general public playtest, and then I will shut the playtest down, do a couple more months of development, and then we will rinse and repeat that process until the game is ready to launch. So yeah, hope you will consider that. I also have my Udemy courses available for sale, and of course the Discord is available to join as well for free. So check out the links in the description below. Did I settle on the pricing range for the game when it's done? I have not yet. I'm gonna see what the final game ends up being like, and then I'll come up with a price for it. But we will see. We will see. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks again, and I will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye-bye.